Hello, everyone, and welcome to this week's Naked Truth. Trisha Hershberger here, and I'm so excited to finally be making a Naked Truth again. It's been forever, but thank you to those of you who have made Naked Army Naked Truth vlogs in the meantime. Right off the top of my head, I can think of James and Jenny. Jenny, I loved your last Naked Truth. Thank you. Those should be linked in the community section, in the community tab of this YouTube channel if you want to check them out. And I'm making a Naked Truth this week because I was talking with my good friend Kate, and we were talking about how it's super weird that at a certain age you almost have like a second coming of age, even though you feel like you should have already grown up, but it's like, oh, wait, crap, now we have to do it again. And so I've invited her on the show this week, and let's welcome to the Naked Army, Miss Kathleen Elliott. Yay!
Hello. I
You
love
may
the
know
way
her
you
as
phrase
Kate in
that.
real life. You may know her as Cater's17. You may know her from Brick Battles, the show we do together on Geek and Sundry. Kate, where else would people know you from?
Oh my goodness. I've been around on the internet for a very long time. I was one of the original YouTubers in 2006, so you've probably seen me somewhere. If not, it's an absolute pleasure to meet you for the first time, and I hope you stick around.
Yay! That was so lovely. Kate is a
I
lovely
hope so.
person.
You're a
Um,
lovely person.
oh, you're so
Let's fight about
nice. We fight about it on Brick Battles. So if you want to see Kate and I
it.
fight, tune into Geek and Sundry on Friday nights, twitch.tv/Geek and Sundry, and you'll see Kate and I fight it out, but in all sorts of fun ways. So,
It's funny because my boyfriend every now and then will come in to watch a taping, and he's like, "Are you guys in a real fight?" And I'm like, "No, no,
no,
we're just playing. We're just playing."
we're just playing games, but we're very competitive about it.
Oh, yeah, somebody is. I
Oh, are you saying I'm more competitive?
don't know. I don't know. Who gets louder? Who gets louder?
I probably get louder, but that's because in general, in anything in life, when I get excited, I get loud. I like walk into a video game store and I'm like, oh my God, did you see this? And everyone's like,
To
okay,
be,
shh.
yeah. Inside voices, darling.
It's a real problem for me, actually. I've had to work on it making videos. When I first started making videos for SourceFed Nerd and I was only talking about things I was really excited about, my pitch and my volume was like up
Peaking
here all the
constantly.
time. And people always say to me, like, oh, your voice sounds different on The Naked Truth. And I'm like, well, I'm a lot
I'm
calmer
speaking. Yeah,
on
that's
The
really
Naked
funny.
Truth. Yeah, it's a weird thing, but like I said, I've had to work on it. So I still have some work to do, but I'm working on it. But anyway, so Kate, tell me, you were the one who thought of this topic originally.
Yeah.
Tell me why this topic came to mind for you.
This topic came to mind for me because I think a lot of my peers and myself are having an internal struggle now with having a second coming of age. It feels like a second adolescence. Our first one took us from childhood into being more of an adult, but we still didn't have all of the responsibilities. Our parents still helped us. We still, we had a lot of assistance from people because we were younger. And now that we're older and we're coming up to our 30s, some of us are before our 30s, some of us are in our 30s, some of us just hit our mid 30s, which is pretty interesting. We're all finding that there's a lot more to taking responsibility for yourself than just paying your own bills. It becomes taking responsibility for your own actions, your decisions, your thought processes, even the way you think of other people, the way you think of yourself. All of that got swirled up again. At least it did for me in the last couple of years. And one of the biggest things I've noticed with growing up is I'm paying attention to grown-up things now, which I never thought I would. I'm 28 years old, so I'm coming up to my 30s. So I'm really hitting that second puberty, and now I'm paying attention to politics. I'm paying attention to climate change. I'm being more responsible with my recycling. I'm being more responsible with my water, my electricity, the way I speak to people, the way I speak about myself. It's just this whole other thing. I'm sure there's loads of people watching this right now saying, I'm feeling the same way. Don't worry, we're all going through it. We get to be awkward for our whole lives. It's not just our teenagehoods. But Trish, are you still going through yours, or did you go through yours? It hits different at different times for different people. But do you feel like you've had your second coming of age or second realization of, oh, this is reality now?
I definitely do. Becoming a
Yeah.
parent was a
Mm,
huge,
yeah,
huge
that's the one.
catalyst for that change
Yeah.
because now I have something else that is so much more important than myself.
Mhm.
But even before that, I went through a really interesting time right around 28, actually, when I was 28,
Yeah.
um, where I was going out a lot at night. I was doing the young single girl thing. And I mean, I had boyfriends, but I wasn't married or anything. And yeah, I was going out a lot and just having a good time and living life one day at a time. And like you mentioned, paying bills. I was like, I'm doing a great job
I'm doing
adulting
it.
because I can pay my bills.
Yeah.
Not realizing that there's so much more to it than that, and so many more ways to be responsible and have control of your life, because I didn't know it at the time, but I didn't really have much control of my life.
Yeah.
And
And perhaps
this
you hadn't
was,
taken that control yet. You didn't realize you could take control of your life, which is a big realization you hit in your 20s. You're like, oh, everything that happens is because of me. So,
it's so weird.
yeah, it's like if I'm having a bad day and I'm complaining about the bad day, guess what? I'm making it worse. I'm making the bad day worse by perpetuating it. But if I go,
Totally.
you know what? That was really crappy and shitty what just happened, but this next thing I'm going to do is going to be great and I'm so excited for it. Just that mindset switch can really help. So yeah,
Yeah.
I totally understand. It's usually a catalyst that brings it to the forefront. You becoming a parent. I had a feeling you were going to say
Yeah,
that.
me becoming a parent, I would
Yeah,
say, was the more recent one, but there was one even before that. So I was partying hardcore, and this is something that I've never talked about on The Naked Truth. I've actually never talked about it on the internet. So this is big, like,
interesting.
in the spirit of The Naked Truth, which the whole point of this show is to bear it all, emotionally, as well as, symbolize through our naked shoulders, um, and our own natural, fresh out of the shower appearance. But I got into some trouble in my late 20s, with going out a little bit too much and then thinking that I was capable of getting myself home. And I
Gotcha.
was not.
Right.
And that in and of itself was a huge reality check for me.
Mm.
This was back in LA before there was Uber, and our public transportation stinks. And if you don't have a group of friends that you normally go out with and you're not able to choose a DD, then I know many people who have gotten into this situation in Los Angeles specifically. In fact, I think that Uber has caused the rate of DUIs in LA to go down by over
Fantastic.
60% or something like that.
60.
It's insane.
Jeez. Yeah.
But yeah, so I got into some trouble.
Mm.
And that was like a record scratch, hold up, wait a minute moment for me to just check myself. And at that moment, I like everything in my life changed. I got my own apartment for the first time. I got out of a couple relationships that were not good for me, not just relationships like romantic relationships, but
Friendships too.
friendships that weren't
Mm-hmm.
so healthy for me as well.
Mm-hmm.
I
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
got a new job, which forced me to focus my energy on something different and positive. Right around that time, I was just starting to get involved in YouTube, so that was really changing my career trajectory. Like everything was flipped on its head, but I came out of it, in my opinion, a much more put together and focused person. So yes, becoming a parent did that more recently, even more so. But when I originally went through that around your age, Kate, someone had told me, that every 30 years, like how snakes shed their skin, every 30 years, people shed their personality kind of and
I
take on a
believe
new
it.
personality. And it sounds a little like
I
mumbo
see a lot
jumbo
of
to
people
me.
going through it though. I really do.
Right,
You
but
you
like
can watch
everybody
your
I
friends
know.
going through it, yeah, and having realizations, and it's that really silly. What was it? I think it was a Keeping Up with the Kardashians meme where it was like, you know what? This year has really just been about realizing stuff. But sometimes it's true. Sometimes it's true. Sometimes you're just like, oh shit. Oh, I wasn't looking. Oh, now I'm paying attention. Oh my God, it's so much worse than I thought it was. Okay, time to take action.
So was there a specific catalyst for you?
There has been a couple actually. I think the first one happened when I changed countries, and that was very. I don't know if polarizing is the right word. It was what's the right word for this? It was kind of a shock to the system because I left everyone I knew behind and I started a brand new life, and I had to be really brave. But at the same time, I was also being very stupid because I was very young. And honestly, if you don't want to slap who you were 5 years ago, you're doing something wrong. And I am absolutely revolted by the person I used to be. Not that I was a horrible person, I was just really naive, way too trusting, had very little experience of the world and what people are capable of. And I kind of lived in this Disney bubble, and I was aware I was being ignorant of my surroundings and my situation sometimes, but I felt comfortable in that ignorant little cartoon bubble. You just have to, like you said, you got to be more selective with your people. You've got to remove a few people from your life that are perhaps too toxic, or, and by toxic, I mean maybe they're overly negative all the time and that kind of drags you down, or maybe they're just straight up mean to you and they say mean comments, but they say they're joking, you know, that kind of thing. Anything that makes you feel bad. Learning to cut people out of your life and keep the good ones close. My mother always told me when I was younger, when you get older, you're going to have this many friends and they're going to be the best ones. You want to count your best friends on your one hand. It's great to know 30 different people, but if you don't have someone in there that you would trust to pull you out of a car if you got into a wreck, then you're doing something wrong. And
It's so funny that you say that, Kate, because my husband Nate and I were just talking about
mm,
how, especially since having a baby, our amount of friends, like our friend circle, has
yeah,
just gone like this. And partially it's because we have friends who are still in that more
it's on baby phase.
self-focused early
Yeah,
stage of life where they want to go out and have fun all the time, and hanging out with the baby isn't necessarily what they want to be doing. I totally understand that, and that's totally fine. But because they're not making so much of an effort to hang out anymore, and the effort to hang out is only coming from one side, it's just fewer and farther between. And it's not hard feelings to any of those people. We're
no,
just looking at our calendar and saying, wow, we haven't seen so and so in a long time, or so and so in a long time. But there are friends who are still just as consistent, who I can still talk to about anything. But you're right, like it's getting down there. And as you get
yeah,
older, I feel like I probably will have one hand
yeah,
super close friends that I can talk to. And you said
yeah.
your grandmom said that?
My mom said it.
Your
Yeah,
mom
when I
said
was
it.
younger, I was very ADHD, so I was always running around and chatting with everyone, and I loved having loads of friends. But as I was getting older, I found that, you know, I was hanging out with less and less people, and I was getting sad. And she's like, "That's just growing up. You're going to find the people that you mesh really well with, that you're going to spend a lot of time with, and you're going to support each other. You're going to raise each other up. You're going to help each other out when you're in a time of need." And that's what you're going to want. You're not going to want the person you can just say, "Hey, what's up? How you doing? Yeah, whatever. Yeah." You want the person you can have
Finger
be
guns.
quiet. Yeah, but that's fun, but you need to have that core group of people that you really trust, that you can be close with, because humans are social creatures, and we got to have, for lack of a better word, a tribe. We got to have a group of people around us that we count as family, whether that's blood or chosen. And part of growing up is making a decision of who you want in your life and who you don't, and that's, you don't have to apologize for that. Yeah.
And now, Kate, earlier you mentioned as part of the second coming of age that you now care about a lot of different things that maybe you weren't so focused on
Yeah.
before. So, in addition to removing toxicity from your life and
Mm.
focusing yourself on a more positive and determined path, how are you dealing with some of the new things that you're focused on now, or and how are your peers dealing with it?
Like politics, the fact
Yeah, well,
that
I mean,
all
that's
of
a huge
us,
one for me,
yeah,
because I feel like everybody has very intense feelings one way or the other about what's going on in the world
yeah,
right now, especially if you live here in America. It's very, very polarized right now. It's hard to find a middle ground, and people are very passionate on both sides. So, whichever side you're on, and whatever it is that you're passionate about, whatever that issue is, now it seems to matter a lot more than it
yeah.
did 5 or 10 years ago. And I don't know if that's because we're just having this coming of age, or if it's because the political climate is so much more dire now.
Right, that's the
But
thing.
how to navigate it is a thing everyone's struggling with.
It's so interesting because I'm pretty sure that our parents went through this with politics too, and our grandparents, where when they were young, they didn't know, didn't care, and it was fine. And then they hit a certain age and they went, "Oh, this is our state of affairs is really bad." And I'm pretty sure every generation has said that. I'm sure we're no different. It's just a different situation, but it's the same situation, if you know what I mean? Different
Right.
page, same book. Um, and I'm sure they all struggled with it too. And I think it's down to us awakening, if you will, opening our eyes to the world and seeing something more outside of our own bubble, our own little world, our own little universe of my house and my school. Now it's like I'm looking at the whole globe. I'm seeing there's issues in the Middle East, there's issues in Europe, I'm actually listening to the news instead of just having it being background noise, because now suddenly I care. And I don't know if that happened at a certain age or at a certain thought process or after a certain conversation with a certain person, but I was definitely clueless. Like maybe 6 years ago, I didn't know what was going on, and I really didn't mind, which was terrible, but part of being young. And now I'm just, I mean, it's a good example. My birthday was January 20th this year, which was inauguration day.
Okay.
So I did not
Oh boy.
celebrate it. Yeah. Instead, I went and volunteered at a mosque downtown who was making signs for the Women's March that weekend. So the whole troop of people got to, there was 4 different religions there. There were Muslims, there were Christians, there were Jews. There was all kinds of people there. There were atheists there that had just shown up to show community and be friendly with one another. And I thought that was a really great way to spend my birthday. But 5 years ago, I'd be like, no, I want to go out and party and see my friends and have fun. And this time, I'm like, I need to do something. I gotta do something. The world is on fire.
I know. I know. That day, I was pregnant then. Still, Logan wasn't born yet, and I went through this like, how can I bring a life into this world right now?
Yeah.
It was a moment for me as well. But I love that you went out and did something because I feel like no matter what you believe, you should be passionate about it enough to take action. So
And
that's
at
an
the
awesome
core
way
of
to
it,
spend your birthday.
absolutely. And at the core of it, we all want love and happiness and peace. So that's what brought all of us together, is we all ultimately have the same goal, and that's to love each other and have a good life while we're here. That's all we want, just to have a good time while we're here. But it's painful. It's painful being alive, and you go through these growing up stages. I would actually, this is taking off subject a little, I would love to know if there are any older viewers, perhaps in their 50s, 60s, 70s, 80s, who have had a third adolescence, another
Ooh.
coming of age. Perhaps when your children have children, that's another whoa moment, you know?
Yeah. And
I-
if the person who told me we shed our personalities every 30 years is to be
yeah,
believed, then yes, that would be
you're
about that
90.
time.
Oh my
But
gosh, can you imagine just becoming a whole new person at 90? Just like, I wear hats now.
yeah, that's where red hat ladies come from. I know it. I'm totally kidding. Okay, well, yeah. I mean, so I guess then, Kate, my big question for you is, do you think that there is a time or a time period or an age whereby we should have it all figured out?
I do have an answer for that. And the answer is no. No one ever knows what the hell they're doing when they're doing it. I swear to God, I've spoken to people of all ages, and everyone's just like, I don't know, I'm just doing it because I'm here. So no one ever has everything figured out. If you figure out one problem, another one will present itself, and that doesn't have to be a negative thing. That's the adventure of life. Once you complete one quest, you want another, right? So
Yeah.
no, you're never going to have it figured out. I wish I could have told myself that when I was a teenager, because I was so darn sure I knew what was going on.
Oh, yeah.
You don't. You have no idea. So all you can do, all you can really plan to do, is go through life with kindness and love, and just face whatever comes towards you and ride that wave, and enjoy the journey, because it's a heck of a
Yeah.
journey. We're
Go
not
on
even
the
a third of the way
adventure one
through.
day at a time and only complete the side quests that are important.
Yeah, don't
Um,
be running around getting that cat lady's cats that she lost them again. She's going to give you like 5 gold and a knapsack. It's really stupid. Just go straight to the city where you can take on some big quests, follow your career and your dreams.
unless you really love cats, then I
Unless you really,
mean,
I mean, if that's your life goal, go for it. I support that.
awesome. Well, Kate, thank you so much for joining the Naked Army officially, for coming on the Naked Truth. I know we've been talking about this for quite some
Many
time.
times.
Yeah, so I'm happy that it finally happened. And if people want to see more of you, where can they see more of you right now?
Oh, lovely. Please follow me on Twitter at Cage's Tweets, and feel free to shoot me any questions you have about my second coming of age and how I dealt with it. If you're going through something difficult, whether you're in high school or you're in your second career and you're in your 50s, I'd love to chat with you about it. Share your experiences with me. So just tweet at me at Cage's Tweets. I'd love to hear from you.
Awesome. And I'm also going to plug Kate's Custom Crates.
Oh, that's so sweet.
Can talk about that a little bit. Kate makes these awesome crates. Go ahead, Kate.
It's so lovely. I wish I had an example upstairs with me. So I decorate these wooden boxes. You can use them for deck boxes for Magic the Gathering, dice boxes, card boxes, jewelry boxes. My boyfriend uses his for his keys and his wallet. And they're all custom themed and made for you. So if you wanted a Legend of Zelda themed crate, we could choose what style of box you want and then where to put the Triforce and where we're going to put Link. And they're all completely custom. So check out facebook.com/Kate's Custom Crates. So Kate's with a K and then custom crates are both C's. Check it out. Have a look. I hope you like them.
Yeah, they're really, really awesome. If you need a gift for someone soon, I highly, highly recommend Kate's Skills. She's quite the artisan, if you will.
Oh, that's very sweet. You're
Yeah. And I also want to plug my new Facebook show. I haven't talked about it on this YouTube channel yet, I don't think, because the NDAs and contracts are so weird and I'm not allowed to promote things up until a certain point. But now I'm finally allowed to promote it. It is a Facebook exclusive show. It's all video game centric. It's called Bits and Bytes. So if you go on Facebook and type in the search bar at Bits and Bytes Show, and Bytes is BYTES, I'll put a link to it in the description. Please go ahead and check it out. Facebook is launching a bunch of new content and they've greenlit 5 episodes of this show. So I've gotten to make 5 episodes. I think only the first 2 have aired right now. But I probably won't get to make more unless a lot of people watch it and check it out and give feedback and like and follow the page and all that kind of stuff.
And leave a comment.
Yeah, so please go check it out and leave a comment and all that good stuff. There's no subscribe button on Facebook, so I can't say like and subscribe. But yeah, just check it out and let me know what you think. I'm always open to any kind of constructive feedback. Someone on the first episode said, hey, can you caption it? And so we're doing that now. So we are listening, and yeah, check that out. And there's also Naked Army merchandise now. I think I did talk about that on this channel one more time. But if you're like, I really want a Naked Army t-shirt, you can get that. There's all sorts of stuff, and I'll put the link for the merch site in the description as well. So thank you, everyone, for watching. And if this topic touched home for you and you want to make a response video of sorts, you can do that by making the video. If you want to do it in the buff, please go right ahead and do. Kate and I have done it today right out of the shower, so no fancy hairstyles, no makeup.
I have to confess one thing. My knee came up, and you can see this. I've got my robe on my left leg. It's just on my left leg because that's where the fan is, and it was chilly. Just so you know. That's the reason.
I love that you give that stipulation. That's amazing. But yeah, guys, however, the nudity is for you and for a way for you as the vlogger to feel vulnerable. So however you want to do the vlog is great. Upload it, public or unlisted, however you want to do it, and post the link on the community section of this YouTube channel so the rest of the Naked Army can check it out and continue the discussion. As always, guys, please be respectful in the comment section in this vlog and to any response vlogs. We're all just trying to do the best we can and engage in an educational, open dialogue. So with that spirit in mind, please, you are welcome here. This is a nice community for everyone, just like Kate did right there. So, Kate, thank you again so much.
Oh my gosh. Thank you for having me. This was very, very weird and exciting at the same time.
Good. Weird and exciting is, I think, what I go for.
Yeah.
With this. So that's perfect. Yay. Okay, thanks everyone for watching. We'll see you next time.
Thanks for watching. Bye.